Yeah, they're wearing. You used to know a fellow was drunk because he had a large stovepipe hat that sort of opened like a can at the top.
Yes, exactly.
It was
like
a more
he used to
whimsical
have
time.
like a fingerless gloves.
Yes. When
that's
drunks used to be easily identifiable. Like a drunk was no one's dad. A drunk was just sitting on the street corner going, "I'll try."
If you're doing the stovepipe varietal with the fingerless gloves or the gloves with the fingers cut off, they've got a bottle that says XXX on it.
They sure do. They sure do.
Yeah.
It was just more magical back then.
Yeah.
Like in Rocky, where he's walking the streets of Philadelphia at night and he runs into a flaming trash can gang, but they're just singing like a doo-wop song.
Take you back. Do 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 do. Take you back. I'm in touch.
Hey, keep saying it, fellas.
Hey, fellas, you're out of tune.
Hey, fellas, if you need a bass, you know who to call.
I'm just doing Rodney Dangerfield again.
Hey, Adrian, I got no respect.
They say I can't go 15 rounds.
They say Mickey Mouse. I got Mickey the Rat over here.
How am I supposed to go up all these steps when I can barely make it through 12?
I'm gonna eat lightning and crap thunder. Sounds like my wife's cooking. Let me tell you. Whenever I got done punching the cow, she said, "Hey, go easy on it. That's our dinner for tonight." Hey.
Women weaken legs, huh? Well, I've been married for 25 years. I got the strongest legs you ever seen.
I'm drinking eggs in the morning because it beats my wife's breakfast. Let me tell you.
Hey.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, you guys want to hear the good character I came up with some friends last night? You guys want to hear this good character?
Yeah,
yes.
yes,
You just reminded me, real quick. We were talking about this in the chat. I need your guys' Dick Tracy villain characters. I know I was Harry
our
the
Dick
Mob.
Sonas.
Yeah, your Dick Sonas. I need
Or Dick
those.
Sonas, right.
Before this day is over, I need those.
Yes, that is
well,
definitely
obviously,
a mission.
I'm Loudmouth. I have
Loudmouth, that's
I have Aardman character proportions. I've got the kind of just like sort of cylindrical head and then like the two arcing cheeks.
You sort of look like you have like a banana in your mouth.
Yes. Yes. It's either a
Okay,
banana or like a large sausage sideways or a like whole slice of watermelon.
Oh yeah, you definitely have a whole watermelon, whole chunk of watermelon.
Of course,
in that piece. I don't know if I pitched one in the chat. I had a couple of ideas. One was a guy named Squeegee McGee whose head looked like a squeegee that you would use to clean your windshield, and he's always he's working for Big Boy Caprice, and he's like, "Hey boss, you don't want to drive with a dirty windshield." And he goes, which is good. And then, but my other option, perhaps more realistic, was as a tall man, I have been known to be called Stretch by older men in my lifetime. So just
Stretch
sort of a
Lanigan's
generally
good.
stretched out sort of man. Just like a man with just longer things about him.
Length McGillicuddy.
Yeah, that man got length.
Say what you like about Say what you like about him, but he's got length.
That fella's got inches, let me tell you. Yeah, so one of those. I think that would be my take.
You're
so welcome.
I need to know it for art purposes.
Of course. Phenomenal. But anyway, this is the great character that I came up with.
I want to hear this guy.
Last night, after seeing a friend's show. He worked for the Manhattan Project, but in this version of the Manhattan Project was done in actual Manhattan, New York. So he's like, "Hey, Jai, we used to work on the Manhattan Project. We was talking about fission, we was talking about fusion. And let me tell you, if it had been the Brooklyn Project, wouldn't have gone down like that. Fat Man and Little Boy, those are two guys I used to know. I honored them. But dude, get this, the fucking plane took off. The Enola Gay, dude. That's fucking.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's fucking. Dude, that's trash.
Oh my god.
Nothing worse than getting dumped on by something called the Enola Gay, dude. Anyway, that's my great new character.
There was.
Yeah, I know. This character's got legs.
There was our high school had a foreign exchange student from China, and
Oppenheimer was like Weisenheimer.
Our high school had a foreign exchange student from China, and because the teachers in West Frankfort, Illinois, leave a lot to the quality of teaching and education you get leaves a lot to be desired.
What?
And no one just like no one like kept an eye on this poor kid that like innocent person, this innocent child that came over here from overseas. No one kept an eye on them to like make sure they didn't fall in with the wrong crowd. And so of course they fell in with the wrong crowd who thought it'd be very funny to teach a kid who doesn't speak any English all the cuss words.
Oh, right. A classic kid maneuver.
Right.
And I think about it all the time, and I wished I didn't. But one time I was in art class that I had with this kid from China, and these two other boys on the football team came in, and they were being very funny because they were holding hands, and it's very funny for straight people to pretend to be gay. That's so funny, right?
I'm already
so
laughing.
funny.
Especially if you're like a jock on the football team.
It's so funny to make two muscle-bound men
Of
As a
course.
joke, as a gag.
It's so
I love
funny.
to go up to all my football friends and I say, "What if we kissed as a joke?
What if we kissed as a joke?
What if we kissed?" Dude, it would be so funny if
So
we had
funny.
sex.
Yeah.
If we had gay sex, that'd be really funny.
And so,
What if you just got inside me
Bro,
right now?
as a
bro,
bit.
what if you
As a
just got
bit.
inside me right now, dude?
just dudes being dudes.
Just guys be what's better than this?
Yeah.
So these guys came in and they're holding hands because they thought it was really funny. And the kid from China, who was not taught well, just stands up and points at them and starts shouting, "Gay, gay, gay."
Like the like one of the body
Yes,
snatchers.
yeah, like Donald Sutherland at the end of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, just shouting the word "gay." And
you're next. There's no running away.
Yeah.
Pride months are always just like difficult for me because I'll be walking around Target and I'll see their Pride selection, and the first thing that pops in my brain is like, "Gay." And I, of course, like solidarity with our LGBTQ plus community. I'm an ally, but unfortunately, it's just very funny for someone to do a Donald Sutherland at the end of Invasion of the Body Snatchers point, shouting "Gay, gay." You might want to cut that, Kev.
Keep it in. Double it. New theme song. New
Nope,
theme
keeping
song
it
is a musically orchestrated version of that story.
No.
That anecdote.
Yeah. We're gonna auto tune you yelling gay.
Oh, we're doing that mid
auto-tuning the
2020
news,
mid
motherfucker.
2010s.
Next Movies for Babies is he's climbing in your windows, snatching your people up.
Yeah, no, the next movie for babies is just going to be an aught meme.
Next Movies for Babies, Frozen Elsa, Sticky Bug Feet, Spider-Man baby. next movie for babies, Algorithm.
Next one is Johnny beheaded.
Sticky bug feet.
Frozen Elsa, that algorithmically generate, those children YouTube shows that were never touched by a human hand.
Oh my god.
No. Yeah, no. Those Spider-Man Joker.
Yeah,
pregnant
Spider-Man Joker
videos.
pregnant is the next Movies for Babies.
Those like someone like there's like Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Elsa, and like I can't remember who else
Venom.
was on the boat, but of course Elsa falls in the water, and I can't remember who. I think maybe the Joker came in and saved her, or maybe the Joker pulled her underwater. And I remember just like watching that and like, Aquaman is right there. He is right there. He can.
No, but the algo does not recognize Aquaman. It recognizes, sort of
No.
a wet Venom.
The algorithm loves CinemaSins, but it doesn't watch it.
No, it's been on my list for a long time now. I've been meaning to check out CinemaSins.
into CinemaSins.
It just hasn't happened yet,
I've been meaning to get to CinemaSins, but I do think it would take less than 45 minutes to tell me everything wrong with G.I. Joe Retaliation. I just think it should take less time.
I just remember there's this.
You'd think doing just a printed list would, in fact, be much quicker.
Got all that video
I just
editing?
remember like that era of like YouTube film criticism with like, where then like the nostalgia critic would come on and he's like, "Today I'm talking about Pound Puppies the movie or whatever," and it's like, and you as a viewer are like, "Oh, I wonder how Pound Puppies is. Is that something going to be worth seeing?
I wonder how Paw Patrol the next station is. I wonder how.
Oh, I've been thinking about seeing the new Paw Patrol movie. Oh, turns out it's a piece of diarrhea dookie. I didn't. Okay, well, thank God
That's
for
interesting.
folks like Nostalgia Critic to.
Do you think?
Oh, I guess whenever I get a copy of the Pound Puppies movie, I'm supposed to throw it up in the air and shoot it a bunch of times with a gun in my
With a
apartment.
gun. With a
okay.
with a really good fake gun effect that you've been
Yeah.
using weekly for 15 years. Do you think that, like, because CinemaSins and Nostalgia Critic, these are things that are watched by like hundreds of thousands of people. They have teams of editors, working around the clock to like edit these pretty labor intensive videos. And like, do you like when you have your editing set up and it's like you got your special keyboard, your special mouse, your beverages, do you think they also just like are each assigned a gun in their mouth?
I don't see how they.
Do you think it's like
I don't see
it's
how they-
mounted to the
Here's
webcam?
your standard issue bullet to
It's
bite.
just a gun in your mouth. Yep. I think so.
I once read an article about the turnover.
Just deep throating a gun while doing the honest trailers.
Like and like if you.
Sorry, what's up?
Comment for what you want us to review next time. With enough comments, I'll fucking do it. I swear to God.
Yeah, a new YouTuber who's just got a gun in his fucking mouth the whole time. It's like, well, here's what I thought of Shazam shooting on my god.
I mean, the engagement.
I really wish Paw Patrol wasn't so much
The
for
engagement,
kids.
like whenever he goes live, is always like, because the audience tuning like, is he going to do it? He always does, like,
Is this the time?
he always sets his videos to like premiere on YouTube, so you
Yeah.
can't like fast forward through it. You can only watch it live.
Doing an epic YouTube takedown of Elmo in Grouchland, but I'm just like slowly fashioning a noose for the entire video. You see, I think,
And you still got that. And you still got that like. And then this jack off comes in. Mandy Patinkin. Who's Mandy Patinkin?
I've never known anyone that's like Grover in my whole life. As I'm pouring gasoline on myself.
Is that 14 loops or? I've never met someone like Grover my whole life. Now, if this have I done 14 loops or have I? Okay, that was only 13. No, I've never met someone like Grover in
my whole life?
And of course, the only thing they know Mandy Patinkin from is Princess Bride. That's the only thing they have any kind of concept of that actor.
Oh, 100%. These people don't watch Criminal Minds. These people don't know Sunday in the Park with George. They don't. They simply don't. Yeah,
Know that.
doing a 7-hour review of Star Wars Episode 7: The Last Jedi as I'm like putting on my military blues.
What? What is this?
Right.
So I
Putting
can
your
stick
gun
my
in
gun
your
in my mouth with honor.
I saw this thing was like Kevin, you guys have both probably already seen it. It was just like what does Martin Scorsese know? The only thing, you can't make movies that are 4 hours. 4 hours is a length for documentaries about Wizards of Waverly Place or something to the.
doing my 7-hour review of like an entire season of Keenan and Kel as I walk out to the Japanese suicide forest. Like you slowly
Exactly.
realize that's
No,
what the face
no,
cam is.
you're doing a whole deep dive into the Fairly Odd Parents movies as you're walking backwards into a minefield.
Can you believe they've got Drake from Drake and Josh to play Jimmy Neutron in this?
He looks so old.
Anyway,
gonna take
people in
some
glass
time.
houses love throwing stones, huh? People.
It's gonna take some time to realize.
I just keep patching up my cuts and get back to throwing.
Yeah, I love, my eardrums are busted, but I cannot help but blast loud music in my glass house as we are also here to.
I love singing at one particular high note in my completely
This is not a
glass
video
house.
podcast, but listeners might know I've been hoisted by my own petard as I record this. Absolutely. As we are here to talk about The
Oh, are we starting? Are we starting? This is Pete Holmes.
How many have we? Are we recording?
We're recording. Oh, so we're just going into this. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Sorry.
Speaking of seamless
a
transitions,
classic podcast maneuver of being like, let's dive right in, as we say 1 hour into pressing record. It's the greatest. It's the best. Waka waka. As we are here, the Babiez have returned once again to your audio feed.
Gaga.
Wah wah wah. Baby want Tracy. Baby want Dick Tracy.
You thought, Papa? Hello, movie.
Hello, movie. Baby want breathless Mahoney.
baby want lips manless.
Yo, damn, dude, I have a fucking flat top loving baby over here.
We can't. Sorry, we can't put on the movie.
Baby want
Sorry,
flat
baby.
top.
want big boy caprice.
Sorry, baby, we can't put the movie on.
Can baby have
Sorry, baby,
mumbles?
we can't put the movie on until you have a bath. Baby, don't want the bath. Not the bath. Not the bath.
As we are here to discuss the seminal 1990 movie for babies, Dick Tracy. It's finally time. I feel like this one's been on our little docket for a very long time.
Why don't they call him Richard Tracy?
Cause it's like a pun.
Oh, because he's like a private dick.
Cause he's like a private dick.
And he traces people down.
He traces them. And
he
Chester
traces.
Gould traced all his drawings on pictures of real people.
They're all rotoscope.
He rotoscope.
When you do it more than 2 images, you're rotoscoping. When you do 1 image, you're a hack fraud artist. It's okay when it's rotoscoping. Don't ever look into what Drew Struzan. Don't look into Drew Struzan's process, folks. You'll be really bummed out. Anyway, what's going on now?
Drew Struzan.
Oh,
I'm not googling.
Drew Struzan is the artist. He did the classic Star Wars posters.
Oh, he's like Mr. Good
the
movie
classic-
poster. He's like what every like screen
Yeah.
crush person thinks
Yo,
makes
this
good movie
MF
posters.
searching for Mr. Mr. Good movie poster over here.
He did all of them.
Dude, this guy can paint Harry
Yo,
Potter.
dude!
Indy. He did
Indy?
season 5 of Comedy Bang Bang.
All these equally beloved things. Oh, Back Future. He do Back Future.
He do all of them.
He do Venture Babysitting.
He bladed a
gooned?
runner.
Dude, he gooned.
One of the original Gooners.
He's
Drew
a
Struzan.
gooner. One of the original gooners.
Gooner.
A true blue goon.
A true blue goon. Dyed in the wool goon.
Goon tribe, rise up.
Gooners, let me hear ya. Hey, Gooners, sound off in the comments.
Gooners, type a comment in the comment field and wait a long time before you finally hit post.
That's a good joke about gooning. That's
Good joke, Vern.
Hey, it's back.
If I had a soundboard, that's on there. But I don't.
Because this feed is back. That joke is back. The Babiez have reunited, and it feels
And
so good.
it is fitting that we recorded this on Easter Sunday, for the joke has risen.
Yes, exactly.
Risen
No
from the
better
grave.
movie for the Babiez to cover on this day than Dick Tracy. Now, folks, I'm curious. Whenever I was a child, whenever I was a 5-year-old, whenever I was a 6-year-old,
Yes.
quite frankly, when I was a 4-year-old, there were 2 movies that I loved more than anything else. 2 movies that got watched almost every single day. VHS tapes that got so worn out. Number 1 with a bullet, the one with the most wear and tear, was Tim Burton's 1989 Batman.
Bartman.
And the second one, Warren Beatty's Dick Tracy.
Whoa!
This
Movies
movie,
that share a lot of DNA.
movies that were a phenomenon for me. I had
for
the
America.
dolls with the hard plastic heads.
Fuck.
I had some action
wow.
figures. I had some playing cards. I was
I love a doll that's really uncomfortable to touch.
Absolutely, it had.
I love a doll that, as a child, it's uncomfortable to hold.
Yes,
I like an uncuddleable toy.
I like a doll that might injure me accidentally.
I don't know. friends of the podcast, friends of the show might know about the Manny that I have. It was like
famously.
the Dick Tracy dolls were like miniature versions of Manny, hard plastic heads, hands, and feet, but with soft plush bodies. And you'd be playing around with them, and Dick Tracy's hat or his hand would hit your finger just right, and you'd have to like But I loved him because Dick Tracy was so cool to me. You guys,
Cool guy.
What are your experiences with and your histories with Richard Tracy?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know this movie existed till like maybe 5 years ago.
Oh wow, okay.
Whoa!
Didn't know it existed
but I
at
saw,
all.
but I don't know. I saw it. I saw it, and I watched it on a whim, and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Not trying to spoil the direction that we're going. I can't imagine someone seeing this for the first time and not thoroughly enjoying it.
Well.
But apparently it happened. Kev, what is your history with Richard Tracy?
Yes, I am also a recent watcher of Dick
Oh my
Tracy. This was
goodness.
not a film that was around
We are
for
early
me
friends of Dick.
when I was
Early
a kid.
friends of Dick.
I'm a late in life dicker. What can I say? I'm a late bloomer, and I didn't dick until an advanced age. But
I take a licking, but I keep on dicking.
but I keep on dicking. And this is a movie that's been on my radar for a long time, but I did not get around to watching. Despite, it's been recommended to me by friends many, many times over the years because I am someone who loves something that tries to approximate a live-action cartoon. I love things that really attempt to... I love Sam Raimi movies. I'm wearing a Sam Raimi hat, which are, like, the closest thing we've ever gotten. But, like, we were discussing Hudsucker Proxy before this, Joe versus the Volcano. Like, these are all things that, like, really resonate with me and that I really enjoy. But I didn't get around to Dick Tracy for a long time because... I was just holding out for a big screen viewing of Dick Tracy. I wanted it to happen. If I was going to watch Dick Tracy for the first time as an adult man, I wanted to do it right. I wanted to do it good. And eventually, finally, a proper screening came up, coordinated around a book called like Colors of Film, written by this guy named Charles Bramesco or something like that. Matt Zoller Seitz hosted this screening at the IFC Center, and I got to see Dick Tracy blown up, all big and beautiful, as I believe it was meant to be seen.
I was curious. Whenever you told me that you're seeing it in theaters, I was like, "Oh, are we getting a restoration? Or are we?"
No,
getting,
that's just a New York thing. Is that like basically any old movie you ever could want to see will play on a big screen at some point in the year here. It is one of the advantages of living in this crazy little city that I live in, is that like there's just constantly revival screenings. Not even like, oh, it's a Godfather anniversary or something like that. It's just like, this movie will play randomly at midnight. Like I could go see like 28 Days Later on the big screen tonight. If I wanted to. I could go see all this shit on the big screen all the time. Humble brag. And
crying, pissing myself in jealousy.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, but you do have to pay New York rent to live here. So I'm sure if y'all looked at my rent bill for the month, you would take those revival screenings a little bit more gracefully. But yes, so I became an instant Tracy convert. That was an instant 5 stars there on theletterbox.com. I have a little Dick Tracy playing card here for the
Hey,
blank.
I had one of those. Yeah.
The blank, everybody's favorite character.
How far into it for both of you guys? How far into your first viewing were you like, "Yep, this is it"?
Oh, immediately.
I was pre-sold. I was like, I
like
know
the establishing shot.
Yeah, exactly. They showed me a big fucking matte painting, like one instant, and that's all I needed. Like, and I didn't know the very specifics of this movie going in. I didn't know, because like I knew it was directed by Warren Beatty, who's an interesting figure that we should spend some time talking about. And I knew it was shot by Vittorio Storaro, one of the great cinematographers of all time. But like, what you might not know going into this movie is that like there's only 7 colors in it. like they so specifically try to copy the newspaper print like amount of color that they were offered. So this movie only has 7 primary colors in it. And every blue is the exact same blue. And every yellow is the exact same yellow. And they are bright and they are vibrant and they are beautiful. And in like, you know, this is a comic book movie, technically. And like in a world where our comic book movies look like fucking sludge in a sewer. They look like stinky doo-doo ass. When you're like when you're at the movies and you're seeing a trailer for fucking Quantumania and you're like, I didn't know it was possible for a movie to look this bad. And then like
Marvel movies have the same color palette as like the cup of water you wash paintbrushes with.
Yeah, exactly. I believe it was Patrick Willems who compared it to like the color timing of dry concrete.
Yeah.
Not even the rich, dark gray of a wet concrete, a dry concrete. They look, and they are based on some of the most like visually interesting and beautiful pieces of art ever created. You know, like
the last
and they've
movie
gotten worse. Like it's not even that they look bad now. They like used to look pretty good.
Iron Man
they've
looks
gotten
good.
worse.
The first Captain America looks good. I think these are like they're good looking movies with like style.
Well, the last I'd forgot about that Captain America movie. The one I really just like that stuck out for me when trying to like when has a movie as when has a colorful comic book movie been released? The only thing I could think of was Raimi's Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Big, beautiful, colorful movies with incredible
vibrant,
shot
rich.
compositions.
Yeah. And a lot of that is like just like I don't know, kind of my vague having not seen those movies in a while. It just feels like they bumped the saturation way up, but that's still something. It's something.
No, and they legitimately look very, very
they look
good
very
to
nice.
this day. I think, you know, James Gunn knows how to throw some color in his movies.
Yes.
I think those Guardians
Yes.
movies are nice and colorful in a way that I enjoy. But anyway,
Taika does too, but it's very like plasticky.
Yeah, it's plasticky and not in like, oh, this is sort of a toyetic world sort of situation. It's like plasticky in like a bad way. Like
in a way that
Ragnarok
doesn't feel like thought through or like especially polished.
Yeah, Ragnarok has color, but it doesn't feel particularly vibrant visually.
No. Which is shameful for any adaptation of a Jack Kirby comic.
Yes, right.
Who is one of the most like colorful and just like prismatic like comic book artists ever.
Yeah, Jack
love
Kirby
that.
would shove an MF in a big pink costume because it would pop, because it would be
with
vibrant.
with like bright green trimmings and a golden face mask.
Right, because it was like, this is forgive me, a visual medium, and you are trying and it should be interesting to look at. I'm not saying every movie has to be, you know, like a huge primary color affair. You can do movies of all sorts of different spectrums of color and lighting, but like it should be interesting.
Yeah.
It should be nice to look at in some
think,
conceptual way.
A lot of the reason whenever I was trying to watch Marvel movies, there was a point where it started feeling like homework, and a point where I stopped watching them, and those points are a lot of movies away from each other. But I do think that like part of what makes those Marvel movies, like what made them so difficult to remember whenever it came time to like watch a Age of Ultron or something like that, was just that like they all visually look the same, so they just gray together.
They just blend together
just, like,
in your mind. Absolutely.
It's like this sludge. Just
right. Whereas like I've been religiously reading the contemporary run of X-Men comics, the whole, you know, small stable over there that's been going on now into its 4th year.
Amen.
But and it's often like 6 or 7 contemporary books, but they are all so unique visually and in their writing and in their construction. It's very easy to remember what events happened in what book, even as interlinked as those series often are. Because they bother to distinguish them, they bother to get artists who can create something that is visually distinct, and they, that's not happening in the truly assembly line nature of big Marvel superhero movies, and it does seem to be catching up with them finally currently. Like it seems like everyone has reached your point, Vern, of like, all right, what the fuck is that? Like when they see these movies and they're like, do I have to watch the fucking Loki show to understand like what the fuck is happening here? Like it's just everyone gets tired. People have other things going on, believe it or not.
It's your franchise has like continuity problems of like engagement when people will see a movie and then have to re-watch it later because they forgot what happened and they need to know.
Yeah,
like they have to refresh themselves on like Shang-Chi.
It's a thing where it's just like at a certain point, they started feeling like homework, and whenever I was a kiddo and I was watching Dick Tracy and the first Batman movie that I loved watching as a kiddo, lots of grays and darks, but also it's still visually interesting. There's still some production design. There's still like it's by choice that movie is the way it looks.
As Bill Murray says in The French Dispatch, just try to make it seem like you did it that way on purpose.
Yes.
Just like, this is you made a choice, and I can recognize that a choice was made.
But those movies, that first Batman and the Dick Tracy movie that we're discussing today, like those were escapes from homework. So it's like
right.
It's you're approaching a superhero comic book, whatever, the wrong way if the audience feels like more homework.
What is I gotta see another fucking one of these, and like, you put out 4 like in 1 year, like I'm getting a fucking headache. You put out 4 and a bunch of TV shows, and it drained people as we are witnessing. And a movie, even one in a franchise, should always try to explain itself within itself as much as possible.
Yes.
Every movie should be able to be enjoyed if you do no homework before or after.
Yes.
You should not need to read an interview with the director where they explain the choices to appreciate a movie. Now that can be very beneficial later. That can really enrich a text, but the text has to be rich on its own to make this enterprise worthwhile.
And one of the things I like about this Dick Tracy movie so much is that like it doesn't have that moment where it cross dissolves to a little kid who like finds himself on a little mystery where he picks up a yellow hat and puts on, and that's like we find out how Dick Tracy became a detective.
Yes,
this movie throws you right into it, and you know everything that you need to know because of like the visuals in this narrative. Like you know, he's a good guy. Oh, he's a bad guy. Oh,
it's kind of
Vern,
amazing.
You can tell stories with visuals?
What the fuck?
It's a lost art, but believe it or not.
It's kind of amazing with this movie or the Tim Burton Batman is that like both of these movies start in thrust. Batman is already Batman when that movie begins. Dick Tracy is well known as Dick Tracy, as we are picking up here. Like, that would never be allowed today. You would need to spend an entire movie waiting for him to get his coat and hat. It would just be like this absolute nonsense time-wasting crap when, like, I don't know, no other kind of movie operates that way. It's not as if, like, when I watch Ocean's 11, I'm like, but I didn't see the Danny Ocean origin movie. How can I know about his first heist to understand this heist?
How did he get in jail?
Right. And Dick Tracy, I mean, this movie is, like, elemental storytelling. It almost feels like based in the core of our understanding of story.
I'm going to say this as a compliment. This is a movie for babies.
Yes, it is like, this is strong hero man. This is bad man. This is nice lady. This lady, her allegiance is in question.
But she's pretty. She's a pretty lady.
Pretty.
She sings really nice.
That's a very pretty lady.
You guys just hit on something in my brain. We're just like, I've always been a fan. Like I've been watching TV. You know, like my parents just didn't give a fuck. They realized that having children wouldn't cause their problems, and so they just left us unattended. And so we were parented by the TV a lot, and watched a lot of
the tube.
Yes, the booba tube. I sucked from the teat of the boob tube, and watched a lot of movies and TV shows growing up. There was a long time before I learned, that a movie is not just like a collection of parts. Mm-hmm. I remember, like watching Homeward Bound, the Homeward Bound movie that came out in the 90s, and that part where like Shadow falls in the hole and being like, oh, it's the sad part. We don't like the sad part. And we didn't have that thing in our brain that like, this is part of storytelling.
Right.
But part of what aided that kind of, what helped us kind of along on that journey was things like this Dick Tracy movie. We're like, oh, we like the part where they're in the green room. Oh, we like the part where they're in the room with all the boxes.
Yeah.
And it helped this movie like stick out in our brains because it was every segment and every moving piece is so visually distinct.
Yes.
Effective.
Yes. Yeah, it's called effective production.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Imagine. Yeah, it's unbelievable to imagine that. And this. I mean, it's just so wild. This movie is bananas. This movie is crazy. We haven't even
100%.
talked about how every gangster looks like a fucking monster. How Warren Beatty, who when was Warren Beatty born? A long time ago. I'm sorry, I do have to look this up.
A hot minute, at least.
A hot minute. He's quite old. Warren Beatty was born in March of 1937.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So he would have been a young man in the 40s when like Dick Tracy was coming out, when it was like a contemporary comic work. And like this movie is sort of best understood as like, right, he lived in like the silver age of comics. Like he was
right.
he became of adulthood. You're right. Like he started in movies in the late 50s. So he's like 50 years old in this movie, which is so wild, which is so crazy.
There was a long time. It took Warren Beatty a long time to stop referring to movies as like two-reelers.
Yeah.
Well, he continues to call movies talkies.
To this
Talkie,
day.
yeah.
To this day. I love a good talkie. So this is like the vibrant translation of this thing that he loved as a kid. Like, and he's like, no, like Lips Manless looks like a crazy frowning fish from the bottom of the ocean. So he,
you know what he's fucking got? The man's got lips.
Yeah, so we're gonna slap a bunch of shit on Paul Sorvino, and he's gonna slurp down 37 oysters, and you're gonna watch it, and you're gonna like it. And he's gonna be we're gonna get a conveyor belt of fucking oysters up to this fool.
Not saying that Warren did not do his research. I'm sure that like he knew all about Dick Tracy. Like he pursued this like doggedly.
He wanted it. Yeah.
But one of the things I think that probably helps us, and I will admit, like I'm not super. A lot of my familiarity with the Dick Tracy franchise is this movie, but I'm a big fan of I follow a few just like pages on Instagram that just repost like frames from Dick Tracy comics and things like that, just because I like the visual of them. I like exploring this thing. But one thing I will say this movie does is like it captures the dream of Dick Tracy comics, as opposed to just like here's a retelling of Dick Tracy comics.
Yes.
Where I guess that's what we're doing all episode is just shitting on the modern day stuff. But like,
sorry,
so much of what gets perfect example. I discovered recently there's a Elvis cartoon on Netflix called Agent Elvis.
With Matthew McConaughey?
With Matthew McConaughey, where Elvis plays a CIA agent.
Which is what he always wanted to do.
Which is
like,
always what he always
as
wanted
a
to be.
person.
I found out about this show through a YouTube recommendation, a music video for an Elvis song set to clips from an episode of Agent Elvis. And being a fan of Dick Tracy, being a fan of like Lupin the Third, being a fan of Tintin, and being someone who's exploring all these things again, I go, oh shit, like a 60s spy cartoon starring Elvis? That sounds like it might be a good time. But in this music video, they're like in a war, and there's I guess Elvis has a little chimpanzee sidekick, and
Good.
this little chimpanzee sidekick is wearing a military helmet, and it says, and it's got a peace sign on it, and it says "Born to Kill." And I go, they put the fucking Full Metal Jacket poster, like army helmet on the monkey in this like Elvis cartoon, and it made me start thinking about like media literacy amongst people that create media nowadays and whether it's existent or not. And I'm like, that Born to Kill is put on that monkey as like as a DeLorean in the background, like the DeLorean and Doc Brown in like A Million Ways to Die in the West. Just like it's a thing that's in there because of like Wikipedia brain.
Right.
And
I think
so much
people
things...
are not. People today know a lot of references, but I think people are not strictly good at remembering context.
No.
I think this is how you get the Clockwork Orange guys in Space Jam: A New Legacy. Is like, this is a thing I recognize from Store. I recognize from Store. So it is popular, and then you don't consider any further context or reasoning or anything like that. You just remember thing, and you don't
remember
take in
Nom?
any thematic significance.
And so much of just like what seems to get made nowadays, like, you know, Star Trek Picard and all these other things are just like, they're just, you know, they're leaving a trail of memba berries through the show or through the movie
Remember
so that you'll
DS9?
keep following. But this Dick Tracy movie, like, it is made with the best brain to make a movie or any kind of art with, and that's not Wikipedia brain, but it's imagination brain. You pull from your imagination.
Because it doesn't do like memba berries. It doesn't try to get you to remember this. It just gives you it.
Yes, exactly. It says, here you go. This is something that you will remember, as opposed to do you remember? And let me tell you something. Like, it'd been a huge gap between whenever I watched Dick Tracy in my childhood and Dick Tracy in my adulthood. But whenever I rewatched it in my adulthood, I remembered so much of it, just because the everything in it is so everything is so striking. It punches 7 people instead of 1 person.
Can you imagine such a thing?
Could you imagine such a thing? Dick Tracy punches 7 people like bowling pins, and it's cool.
It's fucking cool. It's evocative. It feels like a comic book. Like you were kind of saying earlier, Vern, it's like, it's an adaptation of the idea of Dick Tracy. It's an adaptation of like, here's kind of the whole thing. And we're gonna get it down, and we're gonna break it, and whether or not you are like particularly compelled by like the main narrative, as thin and loose as it is like, that's elemental to it. I mean, it's just it's I don't know, it's distilled, it's pure. It's that scene in The French Connection where they're testing the purity of the heroin. It's like off the charts. It just keeps going up. It's so pure.
It understands what characteristics of what it's adapting it needs to evoke to convey what it's trying to do. Like, Indiana Jones does that very well in trying to convey those, like, serialized pulp adventure stories.
Yeah.
Of which
It
Dick
tells
Tracy
you
was
exactly
one, yes.
what you need to feel, to, like, immediately catch up to what this genre is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just, it's basic table setting and tone establishment.
Yes, 100%. It's a glossary of like terms you need to know, as opposed to like as opposed to like just a teacher that gives you a lecture and wants you to write down everything they say. Just like if you know this, you know this, you'll be fine. Yeah,
right. If you know,
this is a muad'Dib. This is a Gom Jabbar.
Guy who wear bright, he good guy. Guy who wear dark, he bad guy.
Yeah.
It's very elemental.
Bad guy look ugly. Good guy look like people.
Yeah, good guy look like regular man. You know, and they didn't. Warren Beatty, the coward, did not give himself like a prosthetic, firm chin. You know what I mean? Like he
needed a Hellboy chin.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, like who. Dick Tracy needs to look like fucking Patrick Warburton or something. Like I don't know. It is like a little weird for like scrawny ass Warren Beatty to be doing this, but the movie sells it to me enough that like I don't really need much more than that. But let's talk a little Warren Beatty. Shall we? Let's really dive into what was going on with this guy, because Warren Beatty, one of the like central fixtures of the 70s New Hollywood, even like sort of predates that, you know, when he starts rolling up in like Bonnie and Clyde in the late 60s. And then, you know, he does, you know, his Altman run. He works with so many of the greats over the years, and then decides, because he's an egomaniac, he decides to become a director himself. He makes a massively long and massively successful movie called Reds. Also shot by Vittorio Storaro, about like the communist revolution and like a love story set in the center of that.
Which is insane to think about. Ever happening, ever being fully celebrated by the Academy, fully being just like a hit film with regular audiences. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It truly was a different time. That Reds was just fucking going all over, and he would direct several films over the years. Heaven Can Wait, you know, like a remake of an old movie. He would do that. He ends up doing this. Something that should also be noted about Warren Beatty, a notorious coos hound. Just an absolute lover of the female anatomy. He has one biographer that has alleged that he slept with as many as 12,000 women. Now, that number is disputed, including by Warren Beatty, who's like, just run the numbers on that. That's not possible. You can't.
And of course, Warren Beatty's like, it's probably more like
higher
10,000.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But by the time we get here to Dick Tracy, because as much as this movie is about a crime, as much as it is about like a man's animosity against big boy caprice, it is also a story about a man who's deciding to settle down with a nice lady. And you know, they're shooting this movie in 89. It comes out in 90. Very shortly after that, Warren Beatty stars in a film called Bugsy, where he is opposite Annette Bening, the woman that he would decide to marry. Now, previous to Annette Bening, he had dated the likes of Madonna. But then he decides to settle down with Annette Bening in the early 90s. They are still together to this day, 30 years on. And fellas, I don't mean to be crass, but I do think we have to consider the idea that Annette Bening has the greatest pussy of all time.
I would actually,
or she could be a nice lady.
I would actually like to offer a counter theory. Like, as I think it's a 1-2 punch. It's that not only does Annette Bening have the greatest pussy of all time, Madonna must therefore have the worst. Like, it's scared. Like, something about Madonna's pussy scared Warren Beatty straight. This uncanny pussy, pussy out of space.
Being with Madonna is your parents making you smoke the whole pack of cigarettes.
You better fit it. You better eat that. When I get back, you better have eaten that whole pussy.
You know,
I'm sorry, everyone.
No. A little problematic, but
I'm sorry, Miss Madonna. I know you listen to this.
Kevin, you shared with us a playlist that you had made of YouTube supplementary materials regarding this film.
Some of them promotional, some of them Oscar performances, the 2 Dick Tracy specials, of course, which I'm sure we will talk about.
But one of them that you included was an installment of Todd in the Shadow's Cinemadonna, where it's a series where a YouTube guy, Todd in the Shadows, talks about Madonna films. Cine Madonna. Very funny. Very
Todd in the
clever.
Shadows is a guy who talks about music, particularly pop music.
Yes.
Now, you'd think if you're a channel about audio, you would have decent audio on your videos, but he said no. He threw out this
yeah.
idea.
Well, in all fairness, he's a veteran of the Channel Awesome era, in which for the most part, artistic polish and growth is impossible.
Yeah.
It's part of the job is you don't do it.
Yeah, it's just a
Movie
content
Bob
delivery format.
now sounds the same as he did in like 2008.
Yes. It is a thing where
It's sort of it's a Dorian Gray situation where like your tech ability stays the same as it was like 12 years ago.
it's a very he does a
Well,
series
except so
called
does your writing ability too.
Yeah.
he does a series called One Hit Wonderland, which is really fascinating and I really enjoy it. It's almost it's one of those things that whenever it pops up in my feed, I'm going to make a point to watch this at some point soon. But yeah, terrible mixing all across the board. But he did another installment of Cinemadonna, and is that documentary that she made about herself for HBO, and there is a thing in that documentary, and he talks about it, Todd in the Shadows, where like Warren Beatty is in that documentary, and I think they just started rolling. They've just called action. And Warren Beatty says something very passive aggressive to Madonna about like, well, of course you always want to be in the spotlight or something like that. Mm-hmm. And you're seeing like the beginning of the end play out in this very tiny moment of this weirdo. I can't remember the name of this documentary. It could just be that like Warren Beatty had finally met his equal in terms of egomania and vanity. Right. And he's like, oh, okay, I gotta
There was no room big enough for the two of them.
Exactly. My wife is a very nice girl, very nice woman. And it was, I met her after being with someone who, was the
not
opposite
very nice
type.
Right. So maybe that's Annette Bening.
My
listen,
wife is my Annette Bening. Yeah. Of course.
Dealing with Warren Beatty is also no fucking picnic. We're not letting
No.
WB off the hook here.
I did not know that it was following this movie that he did Bugsy, and I did not know it was following this movie that he settled down.
He settled down. He finally, which is what this movie is about. Like the movie is about like this guy who's he's a little gray behind the ears. He's been around the block a few times, and he could keep being with these younger ladies who like are undoubtedly attractive. I mean, Breathless Mahoney, hubba, but it's time to take a nice Tess Trueheart home.
Do you think Warren Beatty does this for all of his big decisions? Like he makes a whole movie?
In that case, he's made 5 big decisions over the course of his entire life. His big decision, should I be a communist? Or his decision in Shampoo.
Should I become a gangster?
Right, exactly. And like there are also like so many movies, even starring Warren Beatty, are about like, this guy just cannot stop fucking around. Like this guy like Shampoo is about that with like Hal Ashby. Also, if y'all haven't seen what Warren Beatty looks like in the film Shampoo, I would beg of you to Google image search that, because it is quite the look. It is truly something. And I will try and post it in the chat here.
Kev, you reminded me whenever it started coming up that like we were going to talk about this movie on Movies for Babies. I was reminded of another Movies for Babies that we've done, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yes.
And both Fantastic Mr. Fox, adaptations of things for babies, with strong, vivid visuals, and about a man and their feelings regarding settling down and being wild. And what an interesting little... again, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
It rhymes. Yeah, it's a beautiful story about like, well, maybe it is time to stop being the young man. It's time to grow up. It's time to put something else in there.
Get yourself an orphan. Calm down.
Get yourself a street orphan. It's like, man,
Have yourself merry little orphan.
I don't know. I'm just worried about that orphan. I think, if that orphan
Let him
tries to
take your name.
rob trash cans in the wrong part of town, I think that orphan's done. I think that orphan's fucking. People get like weirdly protective of their trash.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that plot line in Stardew Valley where that guy is trying to, that homeless man is trying to eat out of trash cans behind the bar, the local bar in Stardew Valley where you can buy like a fricassee, and everyone looks at him like he's a fucking monster. When you go to like certain parts of the Midwest and it's like, if you touch my trash, you'll be trash, and like a picture of a gun.
Where dumpster divers get public executions.
Right, exactly, and it's like, you're throwing this away. You don't want it anymore.
I remember working at when my first job was at a grocery store, and I remember like going out with the security guard. He needed to unlock the back door so I could throw all the trash out, and like there were dumpster divers there. Like it was very funny. Like we opened the door, and as soon as we opened the door, we just see like two heads pop out of the dumpster, and like oh, and
like prairie dogs.
And like obviously it's a sad situation, but it was like. Sucked even worse with the security guard being there because it's like, we don't want it, but you can't have it. Just like, capitalism to the very end,
Just the absolute nadir, the absolute dregs. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. There's so much going on in this movie. Everyone should just like go watch it. I mean, there's so many like fun little cameos and small parts from, beautiful
Dick Van
members
Dyke's
of
in it.
Dick Van Dyke is in it.
Yes.
Seymour Cassell. James Caan, who was like, you're not putting any fucking makeup on me. I'll take a fake mustache, but like, I ain't doing this.
It is a thing where like, I remember like watching the credits, whenever I rewatched this again, most recently, just like still being surprised by the names that popped up in the credits, but also still being
Dustin
surprised
Hoffman.
whenever they finally popped up. And again, and we keep just beating the same drum, just like, so many casting decisions are made with like, oh, we'll get a reaction whenever people see this guy. Oh, we'll get a reaction when people see this guy. Mm-hmm. Whereas this Dick Tracy movie is just like, let's just cast people to play weird roles, and they'll just happen to be some of the biggest names of all time.
Get Patinkin in
Marvel
here.
movies are now edited to have pauses for applause.
Exactly.
It's ghastly. It's like unbelievable. It's like that one scene in Wayne's World where like they had to go back in and edit in applause breaks because no one could hear the dialogue for like a minute. But that's every scene in a Marvel movie. It's ungodly. It's like they're edited like those Big Bang Theory, but we remove the laugh track, like videos. Yeah, it's absolute hogwash. Yeah, I don't know how many people were like, it's Dustin Hoffman as Mumbles. it's Bolsovino. It's Seymour Cassell.
It's good to know that he and Warren still have a great positive working relationship despite the attentions they had on Ishtar. Oh my god.
They respect each other as members of New Hollywood.
Oh my god.
The Graduate and Bonnie and Clyde were the same year. They started together.
I'm glad that they patched things up, but it is a shame how they treated Isabella Johnny, and I feel like she was treated too roughly for the failures of Ishtar.
They both really threw Elaine May under the bus after that movie flopped. Yeah, absolutely. But they feel that. And then, of course, we haven't even mentioned it. His name hasn't even come up. Al Pacino as Big Boy Caprice.
Oh my god.
My
there are
god.
The
original
the man is
Balchinian.
living on a playground.
Yes, this is a very interesting point for Al Pacino. And I love Big Al. Vern, I know you're a Big Al guy.
I'm looking at my ceramic Big Boy Caprice mug over on my shelf.
That's beautiful.
Right now.
That's beautiful. Al Pacino in this movie, of course, nominated for an Academy Award for his performance as Big Boy Caprice. One of the coolest nominations in Oscar history. Sometimes they do sneak in like a cool acting nom. Your Kevin Kline, Fish Called Wanda. Your Robert Downey Jr. Tropic Thunder. You're like, wow, I would not have expected you to nominate this.
Yeah.
He's sneaking in there. Pacino's interesting because obviously he owns the 70s. He's got two Godfathers and fucking Serpico and fucking Dog Day Afternoon. I mean, he ran the table on the fucking decade. Then he kind of takes the 80s off. Like, he'll show up in a few things. He'll pop up here and there.
That's the scent of a woman.
That's even after this. Like that's he's got
he comes back big in the 90s.
In the 90s. This is
That's
sort of
right,
his
yeah.
big comeback. I mean, this movie is the same year as Godfather Part 3. And Al Pacino was nominated an award for Dick Tracy. not for he is in opposition to Andy Garcia in this same category for his performance in Godfather 3, but Al Pacino they slipped right over. They gave him the Caprice nomination. And this is also like the tipping point from young 70s Al to the Al that would carry us through to the contemporary era. This is what Al stops. He's not talking like this. He's like, that's my family, Kate. That's not me. He starts going,
this is Big Al.
We are tipping over into
This
Big Al
is-
territory. He's just getting warmed up.
You know how, like, and this is maybe like a gross metaphor, but you know how just like for weeks and months and a year after like September 11th occurred, there would be like news stories about like just like news articles and news stories is like, here's how this could have been stopped. You just like, this one guy was able to manage to slip past security or whatever. This Al Pacino in this movie does kind of feel like the first like pilot lesson here in America. It does feel like kind of just like this is the point where like the snowball started picking up speed.
There's no like, this is the track he picked. This is what the Academy recognized. This is where he's going.
And, you know, that apologetic Oscar he got for Scent of a Woman hadn't come along yet. Whenever the Academy realized, oh, fuck, what were we doing? Not giving a Best Actor Academy Award to Al Pacino for The Godfather Part 2 and giving it to Art Carney. What were we thinking? Oh, my God. Just, you know, like how Leo ended up getting an Oscar for The Revenant whenever he should have gotten it for Django Unchained.
Or Wall Street. Or
Wolf of Wall
Fellas,
Street.
I do think we're being ahistorical here. I just realized he did do Scarface in 83.
Did Scarface.
For which he was justifiably not given an Academy Award.
Yeah. What?
For a
not
not great movie and a not great performance in a not great movie.
No, but I would say this is where Big Al really started.
Big Al.
Yeah, I suppose so. But he took most of the 80s off. Like, the heat was not on. He was like, he did Cruisin', you know, in the 80s.
Well, yeah,
he was too
Heat would come
early.
later.
He showed Big Al too
95.
quickly. He showed his hand. He needed to sit.
You need to let it simmer. You need to take
This
it back,
movie
take it back
is
to the kitchen.
the first. This movie is the beans that would get brewed into a Dunkachino.
Yeah, exactly.
A Dunkachino?
Dunkachino, and it's also imagine like Marlon Brando was not nominated for an Oscar for his role in The Freshman, starring Matthew Broderick, but Al Pacino was for Dick Tracy. Like, a parody of the roles that made him famous, and that's
and that's what they nominated him for. Ain't that something?
But I think, and I'm sorry, you said those magic words, The Godfather Part 3, and as I've seen that movie more than Francis Ford Coppola has, and he definitely didn't watch it during the re-edit, the Coda, the Death of Michael Corleone re-edit.
He forgot to re-edit it.
I know he didn't rewatch it because it's the same fucking movie. It's the same movie.
No, Vern, he did re-edit it. He uploaded the wrong MP4 and he was too embarrassed.
He just edited it over the phone.
In real life, what happened was he didn't have the little marker set on, like he cut out, like there was like a handful of frames after where he had the he didn't line up the marker with the end of the timeline because the one of the two significant differences about Coda is that it just fades out just like 3 seconds sooner. It's very
Fixes
stupid.
The whole thing.
It's terrible.
Fixes the whole thing.
But I will say this about Al and Godfather 3. There are moments in that movie where like he's given it his all. He has this like a diabetic stroke in the movie, and like that's effective. But part I think of why he's so overlooked is like his fucking hair looks so weird in Godfather.
It looks crazy. It's absolutely nuts.
And I'm sorry, I will shut up about this, but I saw this thing on YouTube, and I've just like pure like Vern bait. If this was under a box that was propped up with the stick, I would. You would have got caught. I would have gotten caught. Just a 10-minute long YouTube video about Al Pacino's hair in The Godfather Part 3.
Oh, this is Vern Nip.
Mysteries revealed.
Just sign me up.
100%.
And turns out they were originally going to do, because that movie takes place in the 70s, and Al Pacino was supposed to have this like silver but like shaggy kind of 70s hair.
Yeah.
And then Francis Ford Coppola was like, I think so much time has passed. He's been through so much. I think he would have he would change his hairstyle in his attempt to become legitimate. He had Al Pacino get a haircut. The makeup person that had worked on both prior Godfather films and all of Francis Ford Coppola's films prior quit and never worked with Francis Ford Coppola again because he was so adamantly against the decision. And it's also a very stupid decision because Francis Ford Coppola, a man who's lost so much and is trying to prove to the world that he can go straight, has the exact goddamn same hairstyle that he had from back in the 1970s. Yep. So fucking annoying.
Why change? If it ain't broke. Megalopolis coming soon to a cinema near you.
Having seen both The Godfather Part 3 and Dick Tracy so many times, if you're going to give Al Pacino an award for one of those movies, you got to give it to fucking Dick Tracy.
For fucking
Big
Dick
Boy
Tracy.
Caprice, he is a cartoon character. He disappears into this role
100%.
despite him being Al Pacino being Al Pacino.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you got to give it to him for that scene where he's like, I want him tracked down. I want his car blown up. I want Dick Tracy dead. You know, like you gotta give it up. Pacino would still give great performances
the best
after
scene
this.
is the direct close up as he is shoving like food into his like walnuts into his mouth as he goes. You know why you should eat them? They're good for your liver.
just doing crazy
food.
Absolute crazy bug nut shit. Yeah, but it's good. But 90s Pacino is fun. He gets
Absolutely.
Michael Mann gets good shit out of him and fucking Heat. I think he's legitimately fucking incredible in The Insider. I know that's a movie that Vern you are not crazy about, but like Big Al's holding it down that whole time. I think he's fucking incredible.
My problems with that movie aren't with Al Pacino. It's just I think it's a boring looking movie.
You think he should have? You think he should have sold out to Big Tobacco? Is your problem?
Yes, 100%. I love and respect the
Big
Philip
Tobacco.
Morris. Yeah. Also, not a big fan of Madonna, but
she's great.
She's great in this.
She's fucking great. I slept better in the dark.
Yeah, she's absolutely great. And of course, it does help that the director of this movie is just like someone who thinks you're the hottest woman alive.
It helps.
But
And they frame her as such, and like there's that scene, the sweating in the dark scene, where like she's in a completely see-through black nightgown. Like at least in the print that I saw, I'm like I can see everything. You can see the entire. There's no silhouette. It's just I can see the entire object. And yeah, but it's fucking. She's so great. Everyone's good in this movie. Everyone's dialed in. Yes.
The only weak link for me in this movie, as far as acting goes, is Warren Beatty.
Yeah.
And that is because everyone else is a cartoon character, and Warren. There's this thing in it where like, and it's not, I don't think it's on purpose, but it comes across a little bit that like Dick Tracy is like going senile.
A little bit.
Just a little bit, which is not, I don't think that's what they're going for.
Not what you want. Obviously, he would not have been the right age at the time, but I think today, right now, Dick Tracy, Josh Brolin.
Yeah, he needs, because Josh Brolin can sell a deadpan.
He can sell a deadpan while still being funny. Like look at Hail Caesar.
Yeah.
Like he basically already appears to be like Dick Tracy, right? Like he's got the square jaw.
Or I think if you want
Inherent Vice.
if you want to go, it's a little broader, but still John Cena.
Oh.
Oh, so that's interesting. That's a
Yeah.
very different tone. I think that's an out and out like comedy version, but I think that would work.
But I
Yes.
think if you
I
tell
think that
John
would work.
Cena to play it straight, like it still comes across as a comedic, but I think
Because he's a goofy
a goofy man, but I think that works. Yeah, I think that's
I think,
interesting.
well, because here's the thing. If you're going to do Dick Tracy can't have a personality. Like, he has to be a block of wood of a man.
His personality
like,
is
he's always
raw.
going to be the straight man. You just make a joke about how much of a straight man he is.
Sure, right. That's the joke, is that he is the straightest, most immovable man who is constantly like committing entrapment and like is basically a fascist. But like, you know, that's which is why I'm advocating for Brolin, because that's basically what he does in Inherent Vice. I think that's
Yes.
essentially the part he's playing as Bigfoot Bjornsson in Inherent Vice.
I was trying to,
But obviously that would not have worked in 1990.
as I was watching the Dick Tracy special, and Dick Tracy zooms in. As I was watching
Two demented pieces of cinema.
demented pieces of cinema, but I will say this: there is a rubric. There's a certain rubric that film can get graded on, and I think if you look at Dick Tracy zooms in from one specific angle, for me, it might be like the best film of this year.
So let's I'm sorry, for the audience, anyone who might not be familiar. So Warren Beatty himself owns the rights to Dick Tracy.
Yes.
There was another film production that was underway in like the mid 80s or something that didn't go through, and Warren was like, I'm rich. What if I bought the rights to Dick Tracy? And he did. But as with these contractual stipulations, you have to produce a piece of work using the material every so often to maintain the rights to it. And so first in the mid 2000s, and then again this year, Warren Beatty produced specials that have only aired one time late at night on TCM, the Dick Tracy special, and Tracy Zooms In.
A play on Tracy Takes On, Tracy Ullman's show that she had.
No one knows what it's a play on, and if you watch the special, that is no more clear. The Dick Tracy special has a little bit of production value to it. Like it's shot by like Janusz Kaminski or something.
They rented an old timey car.
Yeah, for Dick Tracy to drive, and he goes into like a Hollywood soundstage. They got like a couple actors, like Mindy Sterling is there for
Wendy
whatever reason.
McClendon-Covey, yeah.
Wendy McClendon-Covey, and so it's Dick Warren Beatty in character as Dick Tracy goes to Leonard Maltin, famed film critic, to set the record straight, and they sit down in like a Charlie Rose set, just like a black curtain, and do loosely structured improv. For like 20 minutes, where Dick Tracy grinds his axe against Warren Beatty. This is Warren Beatty in character as Dick Tracy, talking about how much he hates Warren Beatty.
Yes.
Warren Beatty's approach to the character, talks about how much he preferred the old serials. Long extended monologues from Warren Beatty, who is not an inherently funny man. You know, like, if you gave him good material, he could make you laugh, but, like, he's not a fucking improv comedian. So he goes on this big spiel about, like, how do I stay young? Pomegranates. What can I say? Pomegranates. And he just goes pomegranates.
And whenever he says, what can I say, he's asking, like, what else can I say?
What can I
like,
say? What can I fill for time?
Can't improvise.
I have never seen more obvious edits than in the sequel to this special. Tracy zooms in.
Yes. Well, first off, I will say the Tracy special also, there's a dash of just like, here's a history of Dick Tracy. It's
actually kind of informative.
It's one of those things that like you used to get on TV every once in a while in the 90s and in the 2000s. We're just like,
we need to fill time.
For whatever reason, the Game Show Network is going to make a documentary about Press Your Luck. Here you go.
That sounds good.
You know, just like the era of entertainment that existed before everyone had like products of an era that existed before like everyone had Wikipedia in their pockets all the time. Whereas Tracy Zooms In is just like boomer. It's boomer humor. It's an SNL like level like and it's this, and I guess they're just like, oh well, because it's Zoom, we can just do hard cuts between obvious lines because like, oh, it's the Zoom acting up. They don't put any kind of like glitch effect on there. Tracy is Dick Tracy zooms in from a black void, and he's not like in a green office like he would be if he were zooming in.
Right. No, black void. But okay. So the premise of this special, the subsequent second special, it's Leonard Maltin again. But this time we're raking in Ben Mankiewicz. All right, we're taking him off. He's getting like an email from Dick Tracy or whatever. Be like, Tracy wants to set the record straight again. And so Ben Mankiewicz and Leonard Maltin sit down for a Zoom call with Dick Tracy and a 90-year-old man doing unwritten improv comedy.
I don't think he was actually doing improv. He was just sound.
If that's not enough, Leonard Maltin like writes a note to Ben Mankiewicz while the Zoom is going on that says like Warren Beatty's on line 2 or whatever. So then actual Warren Beatty is zoomed in next to Warren Beatty as Dick Tracy, and they start like exchanging barbs, like Eddie Murphy, Nutty Professor, like doing dialogue.
Buddy Love
with himself.
Yeah, Buddy Love and Sherman.
They're
Klump,
matching
but it's over
wits.
Zoom.
Yes.
And
yeah, it's Austin Powers and Fat Bastard, right? And like and you know, if you were gonna like kind of structure this in an interesting way, you would have Leonard Maltin and Ben Mankiewicz like be actively participatory in the Zoom call. No, they exist so we can cut back to them every 20 seconds, going like, Warren Beatty has lost.
Yeah, they're usually in the bottom 2/4 of the Zoom call, and they look like that meme, like the Tucker reaction cam, where they're just both making like, what?
They look like the background people in like a Jackass stunt. People who are in the furniture store going like,
what's going on here?
What is this old man? Like, who is this old man with his balls hanging out?
They're not participating.
It's one of those.
It's
one of those things where. Yes.
It's
one of those things like, you know how like if you say a word so many
Zoom.
times it sounds weird and loses its meaning. Like this Tracy zooms in like must have broken the Guinness World Record for amount of times someone said, you hear that just every sentence begins with
I will.
Every single sentence begins with,
oh no, Grandpa's brain is stalling.
Like,
that's Warren Beatty's version of saying like, oh, that's a good question.
The stuff that I cut out, the stuff that I used to cut out of like every sentence I would say whenever I would edit a Puffin sketch. Just me trying to think of what my next line is going to be. But
it's unbelievable.
But it is interesting as a piece of just like, I've got the Dick Tracy Blu-ray. I need to look at it. It is interesting to like, even if it has this ridiculous framework, to get like a 20-year like post-burial commentary on a piece of art that you did and how it was received, and so there is some like, I wish it would, but I'm sure that like the way these copyright things work, I'm positive that the folks involved did the bare minimum that they had to do in order for this to pass as a like film so that they could keep the rights. But like, I would have really just enjoyed like just a prolonged interview with Warren Beatty, like out of character, just being like, well, I thought it was going to be this, and I've had these plans for this, and I don't like, I don't know, Ben Mankiewicz is interviewing him, or like Warren Beatty on Hot Ones or something, but I know that like I'm sure they have to like, we have to have this many cuts. You have to pretend that you're performing as someone. We have to legally ensure that this is a movie. And if you're, as far as movies where like the only thing they're aiming for is a legal definition of movie, this one's pretty good.
Yeah.
But also, like, I did...
For a contractual obligation that is Leonard Maltin and Warren Beatty improving at each other, it's about as good as you could expect that to be.
Yeah. And I...
The best version of that.
As I don't know, there was some moment, there was a weird kind of thing I had for it where I was like, oh, like, it did touch me. It feels like a like Warren Beatty's like Fabelmans a little bit, just him examining his life as an artist and his... Yeah, it does feel like that, but like bad.
Gives us a
Like,
peek
just
behind the curtain.
terrible. The Babiez,
Yeah.
but
Good.
the Babiez,
Babiez.
The Fabides.
interesting curiosities.
Indeed. Check them out on YouTube.
Interesting curiosities, because what's going to happen? I think all three of us are going to strongly recommend the Dick Tracy movie. I'm not
100%.
I'm sure that if we all sat out right now and did our rankings of movies that we discussed on Movies for Babies, this could be like number one for a couple folks. I could totally see that happening. But what's going to happen is you're going to watch this movie and you're like, holy shit, this fucking rules. And you're going to want to see more things like it. But unfortunately, they don't exist. And so the best you're going to be able to get is Tracy's special, and Tracy zooms in.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch The Phantom with Billy Zane.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch The Shadow with Alec Baldwin.
Warren Beatty, very clearly from the Tracy zooms in, 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on a banana peel. Who do we think is the best choice to direct a Dick Tracy film? A Dick Tracy film for a modern age.
I feel like it's almost... I don't know... And this is my own limits. I don't know who is currently working right now that has really kind of lent into the live-action cartoon thing. I guess maybe James Gunn.
James Gunn?
That'd probably be interesting. I have two suggestions. I have two ideas.
I think I know one of them.
One of them is indeed a hat I am currently wearing.
Oh, that's a
I
good
believe
one.
Sam
Yeah,
Raimi
yeah.
would be an excellent choice for this, and I would love to see Raimi do movies.
Yes.
I know he did a Marvel movie last year, but I ain't watching that.
It was... His ideas were the best parts.
I agree. There's some cool Raimi shit in that. But my primary suggestion, which might be hack for me to say, but I think he is almost tailor-made to do something like this. I think Edgar Wright would do a really good Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
I think he has style. I think he loves to get silly and cartoony with it. I think he would get some good actors for these parts. He would also build out a cool ensemble.
Yes.
How cool was the Scott Pilgrim ensemble? I ask you. I think he'd be the man for the job.
I think in a real life world, if we're making a new Dick Tracy, I think Edgar Wright is. I think he's 100% the right call, especially because the studios are going to want to make money off this.
Yes.
I really do kind of love the idea of a Edgar Wright directed film about Dick Tracy starring John Cena. That does sound pretty amazing.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
The only other person I could think of, and it's purely just based on how his films look, how his films use color, how his films do that Terry Gilliam thing where they'll frame a bad guy really close up and really low with a giant wide angle lens so that their face is super stretched out and they're yelling into the camera just rah, 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 and it looks scary. Unfortunately not the choice that you'd make if you're wanting to if you're making this purely for money. I don't think a studio would think of this person, but the fella, and of course I just lost his name, Jason Eisner, who directed Hobo with a Shotgun and Kids vs. Aliens. Just how he uses these bright saturation, this vibrance, and how he depicts this ugly bad guys in film. I think Jason Eisner could make a really fascinating Dick Tracy movie. One of the problems is that he would want to make it super gory and violent and bloody, and that doesn't work for Dick Tracy. Unless he can sweet talk some producer and be like, it's like Sin City too. Remember that? And they go, oh. I did watch Bullet Train.
Well, they did do that, but that was the spirit.
Oh, yes, it's true.
Well, they did do Sin City too. It was called A Dame to Kill For.
I did just watch Bullet Train, and I was kind of shocked at how like violent that mainstream film is. I was also kind of shocked by like
how fast the train
was going. But I think like
a bullet.
I don't know. And Edgar Wright helmed Dick Tracy starring John Cena. That sound pretty good if you ask me.
That sounds like a nice night at the movies.
And a Willem Dafoe bad guy, like sign me the fuck up.
Big boy Caprice.
Yeah, dude, sign me up.
Okay, here's the question. Would you how would you stylize the faces? Would you do prosthetics or would you do like mild motion cap? Would you do CGI or because I would suggest this movie be done as like almost kind of motion capture, a la Tintin.
That's interesting. I like the prosthetics. I think the prosthetics are the way to go. I don't know that there's something about that like motion capture that like the Tintin movie had that like Jim Carrey in A Christmas Carol had that like I find that look kind of off-putting. That's part of the reason I didn't see the 1010 movie whenever it came out, was just because I was like, oh, and I know that's a stupid thing. I'm a stupid person for not having watched the 1010 movie. But I don't know, this might sound like hack or whatever, and this could go the wrong way, but, a Spider-Verse little animated style, Dick Tracy could be a lot of fun.
Yes.
That would be good.
Not like, not a Spider-Verse thing where it's like, it's Dick Tracy from the comics with Dick Tracy from the movie with Dick Tracy from, but like, how that movie looks, I think would be.
Yes. A cool and interesting visual style.
Yes.
Not a crossover dick suck. Not the meme of three Spider-Men pointing at each other, but for like an entire film.
Yeah. It's not three Spider-Men sucking each other's dicks.
Although shooting webs, as I like to say.
Oh.
Unless.
My senses are tingling.
Now casting a web.
A web. All right. So that about wraps us up, except for one little thing. Which is that I did promise you boys a song.
Oh.
Which is I did promise you boys an original song.
I forgot about
a completely original song that I wrote, that I composed the music for. Now my partners on Skype will not be able to hear the music, but you in the audience will witness this beauty in its full scope, and my partners will just have to either wait for the recording or picture it in their mind's eye.
Paint us a picture, Kevin.
He's gonna sing Dick Tracy by the Chance, right? That's surely what it is, right?
That's surely what it is. No, Vern, I've never heard of what that is. You fool, you fool. All right, so I have a little song, and I have prepared it, and I have written the words, and they are on my composition notebook. And Kevin, in the edit, I am hitting play on the karaoke track in 3, 2, 1. Dick.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really good. My dick wears a yellow coat. Yo, dick, never been in a throat. My dick loves Tress True Heart. Yo, dick, smells exactly like a fart. My dick, adopt a little kid. Yo, dick, blind like Kid Vid. My dick, played by Warren Beatty. Yo, dick, second Tom Brady. My dick caught big boy Caprice. Yo, dick has a weird crease. My dick doing entrapment. Yo, dick loves the movie Entrapment. My dick friends with Seymour Cassell. Your dick when it dies it goes to hell. My dick is in a world full of color. Your dick has never had a lover. My dick enjoys a glass of scotch. Yo, dick fell off of your crotch. My dick loves a painting swatch. Yo, dick actually fell off your crotch. My dick, created by Chester Gould. Yo, dick fell off of your crotch. My dick on the police force. Yo, dick, you got your crotch in a divorce. It's time we'll let the world know. Yeah, that your crotch let your dick go. Your dick fell off. It's crazy. Yeah, we got dicks like Tracy. The dick fell off in an orange paint can. Yeah, like your dick got a spray tan. Did I mention that you are Kevin Spacey? Yeah, we got dicks like Tracy.
Amazing.
I love
Incredible.
That's my song. More songs should feature a moment where you reveal that the listener was Kevin Spacey the whole time.
Let me be frank.
let me be big boy Caprice.
Amazing. Gotta love a parody of a comedy song. Gotta love a parody of a comedy song. This is
Parodies
no, it makes
of
it
comedy.
even funnier.
It makes it even funnier,
course.
like the movie Date Movie.
yeah,
Which is a parody of comedy films.
it's a double-decker sandwich of hilarity.
Mm-hmm.
Of hilarious.
It's a parody of They Came Together.
That was my. It's a parody of Wet Hot American Summer. That was my good song.
Very, very nice.
Okay.
Bravo.
Thank you so much.
Bravo.
Thank you so much.
I'm
you.
I'm drying my eyes, Kevin. Don't worry.
Thank you, because I brought the whole house down, like Madonna at the Oscars when
Mm-hmm.
she sang "Sooner or Later," lyrics by Stephen Sondheim.
Man, we've not talked about it. I'm not a huge Madonna person, but man, I love that song Sooner or Later. That song is so dreamy. That song, like, you need to make a late night run or a late night you want to make a late night walk over to a 7-Eleven during the summer whenever the sun's gone down and the street lights are on, and you want to put the headphones on and listen to Sooner or Later. You're going to have a good time on that walk.
Have a good little walk.
Sooner or Later
5 original songs in this movie
is a
written by Stephen Sondheim.
dreamy track. And I remember my sister and I just cackling. We laughed so hard. We would rewind the VHS to rewatch it over and over. Madonna in that movie going, "I want more." We thought that was so funny. Just like how tight she was closing her eyes and how hard she was shouting, "I want more" in that in that montage. We thought that was so funny. But yeah, the soundtrack is good. The production design is good. Everything about, like, it's a little wonky script wise, but also, like, I don't know, it's the vibes carry it, man. The vibes carry it. That movie, this movie is wonderful. I watched it for the first time in a long time 2 years ago. It was during quarantine, and I've been just hooked on finding adventure stuff ever since. Got me back into Tintin, got me back into Lupin, made me watch Chinatown for the first time. Like, this Dick Tracy movie will uncork something in you. But it's a good uncorking, I think.
I agree. I love getting uncorked by Dick.
Getting uncorked by Dick.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think this movie's great.
Yeah.
I think talking to my friends about it is great. What a great experience.
What a great experience
this is.
Folks at home, two things I'd like to plug real quick. There's an artist I follow on Instagram who I'm a big fan of. They're at Dick Tracy Rogues Gallery, and they just draw a bunch of Dick Tracy characters in this fun little comic book style. I'm a big fan of theirs. And also, shameless plug, you gotta check out one of the best things I've ever written in my entire life is my review of the movie Dick Tracy on my Letterboxd.
It's
So
Yeah, go check it out.
That's like my more, like, not saying my thoughts I've expressed here are not true, but I put some thought into my thoughts about Dick Tracy whenever I wrote that review, and that's the more in-depth review from me. I just like Dick Tracy. It's cool to solve crimes. It's nice to have, like, a good cop, even if it's a
Good cop.
it's nice to finally have a cop in one of these movies that's competent, that's good at what they do, that cares about justice and blah 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 blah, and does not bend or break under the pressure of to be a bad guy. That's nice.
Be a bad guy.
Be a bad guy. And funny.
Bad guy.
Dustin Hoffman mumble and really funny.
He funny. When they
If we
slow it
don't-
down.
It's good stuff. I was about to do the bit, but then I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's not seen it. 'Cause
Yeah, you gotta. We actually kind of stayed pretty spoiler free on this one because we just want you to go watch Dick Tracy. We just talked about why it's good.
Absolutely. I got the Blu-ray for Dick Tracy. Like, it was new. It'd never been opened, but I got it for like $6. Like, and that movie, like, that's a movie that you want to treat yourself to a Blu-ray of or see in a motion picture theater.
100%.
I'm assuming it's on Disney Plus. I've not looked.
I don't think so, actually.
No?
It's been on HBO Max a couple times. I know it's like a Touchstone thing, but it's possible the rights are in like a weird place. But, you know, it's fucking worth the $4 HD rental.
Absolutely.
You know, like, just rent a movie every now and again. It's not all about what's on streaming services.
Just watch a movie. It's all part of a well-balanced media diet. You can't only do new releases. You got to go back and explore some of the things you missed or re-examine things that you've not seen in a long time.
It's all important. There's so much beautiful cinema out there, and it'd be a shame to limit yourself just to the everyday new releases, though good new movies come out all the time.
This is true.
Speaking of new movies, the next film that the Babiez will be discussing,
oh boy,
that we are all anxiously anticipating. Everyone is really excited for this one, especially after all the reviews have come out. The Babiez will, as you might imagine, be discussing the new Super Mario Brothers movie, which I believe is called The Super Mario Brothers Movie.
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Whereas we have previously talked about Super Mario Brothers, the movie. But this is
I think we're going back to the trend of blank the movie. Or the blank movie.
Which I'm all for. I love that.
I'm down with that. As a little cliffhanger for my emotional arc going into the Mario movie. The only thing that made me see both Sonic movies was that, like, my friends wanted me to see it for entertainment purposes. I was dreading walking into those theaters. And the pandemic happening the instant my screen of Sonic the Hedgehog ended, like reassured that like why I shouldn't watch these movies. I saw a Bollywood film the day of the election where like Trump got elected. And whenever I got out of the theater, like Trump was president, and I was like, I wish I hadn't seen that movie. I feel like it's my fault. And I kind of feel the same way about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. But I will say, having not seen the Mario movie right now, where I'm at with that is kind of like I was the night before another experience involving mushrooms. It's like, ooh, this could go either way. This could go either way. This could be really good or really bad. And I'm just a little anxiety about this. Is a little nerve-wracking.
You know, worst comes to worst, we just watch a not very good movie, which we've done before, and we'll do again.
A million times, but we didn't do it with this movie.
Sure
did not.
Love to talk about good ones. I have some ideas for good ones we could cover after Mario.
Yeah, me as well. So
some of them we've long talked about.
Yes, which we have like on this very show.
On this very show, we've talked about it live. You know, so listeners, write in if you want us to talk about Kung Fu Hustle or The Adventures of Tintin. Let us hear. Let them hear
please.
You. Let them hear you. Tell
us, Forrest.
Please. Cast your vote. Your vote matters. So I don't know. That's been your Movies for Babies for this month, where we talked about Dick Tracy. We encourage you all to get dicked on your own time. Spend some time getting dicked today, and
eat lead, Tracy.
Yeah, eat lead, Tracy. And as always, eat lead, Tracy.
Sooner or later, you gonna be you faced it, I always get my man. Sooner or later you're gonna decide. Sooner or later there's nowhere to hide. Baby, it's time, so I waste it in chapter. my